I'm going to come back to a quote within the notes in a minute. What do you view risks as? Because some people are frightened of risks. I've got a girlfriend who doesn't like risks. I get goosebumps because I'm ready to go and I'm excited. So let's talk about what risks are in your world.
That's such a great question. And it's so funny because I had a guest on my YouTube show just a couple of weeks ago. And in preparation for the show, she had done all this research on what risk really meant, because she calls it taking chances. I actually looked up what she was talking about with risk. And the first definition of risk is actually putting yourself in peril, like of harm or death. It's kind of a scary definition. So in some ways, you kind of understand why people have that reaction, particularly women have that reaction to risk. And in my world, risk is not that.
Yes.
It's not putting you out there to risk and danger. Although I will confess that one of the reasons I talk about risk is that I used to be an aerobatic pilot. I turned airplanes upside down. And that was a little bit kind of risk. These days, I call that kind of risk reckless. So we're not talking about being reckless. But for me, risk is taking those steps outside of your comfort zone, whether they're big ones or little ones. It's interesting what both of you said about, making friends and speaking up outside of, at a conference, because for a lot of women, speaking up, particularly in relationships, even workplace relationships or personal relationships, that can be one of the biggest risks for women that I run into, is that actual, speaking up and saying what they need. And it's sad that it's so much of a risk for women, but we are so much more relationship focused a lot of times, and we don't want to upset that apple cart. But we need to rock the boat a little bit. We don't have to flip it over, but we can rock the boat a little bit in order to be more effective and get what we need and bring our skills into the world in a bigger way.
Yeah, I love that you've used the rocking the boat analogy, because I just had an insight around my own personality, which is, okay, I'm just going to rock this boat. Okay, you're not listening to me. I'm going to tip it over now, which is probably not the ideal soft skills, and having a little bit of a balance in there. But I do remember through and it was around the relationship side of things that you've actually just mentioned. That I'm rocking the boat, right? You're not listening. You're going to tip it over, and then sort of dealing with that. But that's my, I suppose, risque personality playing out a little bit too recklessly there.
Well, sometimes slipping the boat over is the right answer. There's no question about it.